The end is nigh! The end is nigh! But first we have to get through top 4. What is going on, everybody? Anthony with you once again for the first of our 2 top 4 matches for Season 2 Encounter 5. Now, this was supposed to be the second, but a whole host of technical issues happened last night, so this has now become the first. And in terms of what we will be seeing face off, we have Superion versus Apex Galaxy, and I need to jump in real quick. Alrighty, so if you're wondering why there was a hand redraw there, that's because that hand was from a test to make sure that I could see everybody's cards from before the coin flip, and it's proper procedure to only draw your hand after the coin flip, so that way that doesn't influence anything. It didn't in this situation, but it is proper procedure, so I was a bit pedantic there. Anyways, I do not know who is going first. Oh, sorry. This is only the second time I have done this. Okay, so I forgot to mute myself on Discord. So that's fun. This is only the, like you just heard, this is only the second time I've done this. Anyways. So, damage from In the Name of Slingshot is starting on Firefly, no, not Firefly. Air Raid, Alpha Bravo, Silverbolt, Power Glide. Now what? Yes, you are clear to go. I already said that. Okay, they apparently did not hear me say you're clear to go. So, anyways, now that we've had our court-mandated, just nobody knows what they're doing moment, Skydive after a Alpha Bravo flip will go in. That's a defense of 4 or 5. I'm not sure who that's on. 4 Pierce 1 is the swing. Either way, they're taking 1. So Sound Barrier takes the damage. And we've got greens. Dropping a Sparring Gear for a Severed Combiner hand. Not going to pick up the Vampark on Bethany's side, and over to John's turn. We have a draw for turn, fight for position, with an Equipment Enthusiast Dare to Believe Severed opener. Flipping Galaxy, I mean, you might as well just play Dare to Believe here. You got nothing better to do. So Severed onto Galaxy as the play for turn, and Sound Barrier into Skydive. 3 Pierce 1. Taking the Pierce 1. Get your popcorn ready, folks. This is going to take a while. There are some green options on Bethany's side. They have really Smelt, unfortunately, I think is the best drop in this hand, and that's saying a lot considering that you want to be making sure Galaxy does not have any upgrades at all. Although, alternatively, the data bank is decent. Going War of Attrition for Hand of Adaptus. I can get behind that decision. So draw for turn. And it's an, Armed Hovercraft. Not exactly what you want to be drawing here. Heavy Duty Plasma Blaster is the better of the 2 spread damage cards in this matchup, just because of the fact it can pump 2 damage onto something. But it's not any good right now, because it requires a Guardian or a character in Combiner mode. Databank onto Power Glide after Air Raid flips to bot mode. I believe Air Raid scraps any upgrade. The Databank is the upgrade for turn, I mean. I think in this situation, you honestly have to shotgun the Smelt just to put John on Gotta Have It with a second Combiner hand, which I believe he's playing 2 copies in the deck. He doesn't have it in hand. So, if you can put him on Gotta Have It, that's going to make things infinitely easier, because this card just hard screws over Superion since it negates his Pierce, and that's his best weapon. Oh god, can they hear me? They both just went quiet for a minute, and I thought for a second I accidentally unmuted myself, but no, it looks like we're just having a bit of a think here. I mean, let's look at the board here. You Hand of Adapters, you draw 2. You have a better resource pool at that point compared to Galaxy, at least in theory. In practice, who knows, because card draw is fickle. Smelt guarantees that something good comes of it, but that could potentially backfire on you in the long run because of the fact that multiple Severs could be floating around. And actually, it would probably help if I checked to see... Smelting the Combiner hand, that is absolutely the correct call. Fireflight in. For 1 flat, so that's a block. No greens on either side, and we're over to John's turn. And I am currently pulling up deck lists to see A, how much removal is in Bethany's deck, and B, how many Sever John is playing. So John, oh, that's a 1 of Severed. Hold up. So that is definitely the correct call, just shotgunning it there. Flip stuck on you. We're going straight for something. Yep, there's the Apex armor. Smoke Cloak onto Galaxy. Ugh, Smoke Cloak off the top, getting value there. Dare to Believe. Draw an Equipment Enthusiast. Gets Bold 1. Send it. Has to go into Fireflight here. And in terms of removal in Bethany's deck, it is... 1 Smelt and 1 Bashing Shield. At least there's a Bashing Shield there, but there's also 2 Smelt in the sideboard, so that's something at the very least. Again, I have gone on this rant before. You should not be playing 1-ofs of removal cards ever, in my opinion. No greens on either player's end as Fireflight takes 5. Holy, how did he survive that? So it was 9 blocking 4, it would have had to been. Draw for Databank. Has the Enigma. Has the Bashing Shield. Okay, now we're cooking with fire here. Any flip, you go Hand of Adapters, draw 3, Bashing Shield off the Apex armor. Stuck on You's already been burned. So, that solves a whole host of problems on the wheel turn here. So, very fortuitous draw there, but you take it when you get it. That's for sure. The flip is going to be Silverbolt. Galaxy will take a damage. And we're going to see the hand first or the Bashing Shield first? I don't really think the order matters in this situation. But then it's also a question of who do you put the Bashing Shield on? You'd think conventional logic would say put it on Skydive just to keep him alive as long as possible and be a pain in the rear. But honestly, I think you throw it on Fireflight in this situation because he's likely going to die soon. Well, actually, on the untap, he will die basically guaranteed. Unless Sound Barrier just has an absolutely horrid flip. And in that situation, you get Bashing Shield back into the scrap as soon as possible to ensure it gets reshuffled in. 3 cards get drawn off of Hand of Adaptus. Scouting Mission, Equipment Enthusiast, Shoulder Holster. That may seem like a suspect include, but it did work in top 8 if you watched that match. So, yeah, it's pretty good, actually. Especially when you can double up something at Alpha Bravo and, like, double Energon Axe and hit a bunch of Pierce. Goes for the Bashing Shield play on Skydive instead. Again, that is not a bad play by any stretch. But I think if you're trying to go for optimization here, you play it on Fireflight in order to try and get it back into the cycle as soon as possible so you can continuously put the pressure on whatever armors John decides to throw down. Sending Power Glide in first for 2 Pierce 2. Of course, there is Designated Target in this deck, so that could be huge against this deck. And by this deck, first I meant Superion, and against I meant Apex Galaxy. Dropping a Armed Hovercraft for an Energon Axe thanks to Superior, or Power Glide's bot, or alt mode, I should say. Air Raid into Gen Prime to get rid of that Smoke Cloak. That's decent. 5 flat. Block 4, take 1. And there goes the Smoke Cloak. And in terms of designated targets in Superion, looks like Bethany is running 2 copies of them, which is decent. Again, I feel like Superion benefits from that so much that you'd want to play 3, but hey, I'm not going to question a deck-building decision this late into an event. And that's another 2 Pierce, this time from Alpha, 2 Pierce from Alpha Bravo, because inbuilt nonsense. Silverbolt in last. Block 4. You would have liked to see Silverbolt and Alpha Bravo's results flipped. So going in for 4 flat, and that's a block. Had the results been swapped, that would have been 5 damage on Galaxy Prime. Instead, we get a measly 2, and he's now at 6. On the untap, we go over to John's turn. Draws a Tetranite, it looks like. Fight for position on Sound Barrier, and into Fireflight we go. Going in for Pierce 2, that's just enough. Fireflight has done his job, folks. Fireflight has done his job. Block 4, Pierce 2. I was about to start saying something, but then I'm like, oh wait, nope, correction, Pierce 2. Sometimes I correct myself like that. Anyways, John's going back for the metal detector plays. Looks like dropping an equipment enthusiast for it. He already has one in hand, and plus he's got no upgrades on the field, so it's not like it really is actually doing anything right now. So that is absolutely a smart drop. Going over to Bethany's turn. Draws a Sparring Gear and a Data Bank. 8 cards in hand with 2 turns to go for combination. How close is John to reshuffling? Fireflight gets flipped in the KO area. John has a bit to go before reshuffling. And again, that combiner hand is only a 1-of, so who knows when we're going to see it again. Though it does have a green, so that helps mitigate things a little bit on that front. So what is the play here? Replace Bashing Shield for Sparring Gear. Okay, so all my complaints about playing it on Fireflight are just immediately moot because of that. And then the action. Scouting Mission on Power Glide. You were drawing 2 no matter what in that situation because Equipment Enthusiast has 2 upgrades on the field right now. Heavy Duty Plasma Blaster and Heavy Handed. Not exactly the best draws right now, but you're 1 turn away from combining. And once you do get to that combination, this is actually a pretty effective hand because you have that Plasma Blaster, you have the Shoulder Holster for the follow-up axe, you have a Heavy Handed, you have an Equipment Enthusiast. Superion's actually looking pretty decent right now, all things considered. So the attack is for 3, Pierce 1. Block 2, take 1. The fact that Sound Barrier has not taken much damage right now is a very good thing for Bethany. Because if Sound Barrier does get KO'd, that immediately causes a whole host of problems in regards to trying to actually punch through Galaxy, and it was part of the reason that I ended up losing my round 5 match to John, because I just could not deal with whatever other armor John had, plus Sound Barrier. Drops a, I believe that was a data bank for a personal targeting drone, that's a pretty decent pickup, draws a Crude Club, plays the Metal Detector, sets a secret, unfortunately, oh wait, no, it's a Tetranite. I remember that from earlier now. Metal Detector reveals a Reclaim. Not what you want to see, but whatever. Going in for 9 after flips. Blocking 1, 2, 3. 9 block 3, take 6. Oh, is this the live on 1? 9 block 4, take 5. No, wait, 9 block... Wait, oh, there's a blue icon in there I didn't see. 9 block 4, take 5. Okay, I did not notice the War of Attrition. Okay, so Skydive is alive on 2. So this Superion's combining with 14, 16 damage. That's pretty good. Although, this is an interesting situation. Do you try for the combine this turn, or do you try and get 1 more volley in on the wheel turn? Maybe get to a position where a Superion could get a kill shot on Prime in a couple of turns. I'm honestly not sure, because on the one hand, you want to be applying as much pressure as possible on Galaxy to try to minimize his impact in the late game. On the other hand, though, there is the argument to be made that your attacking is more effective pre-combine. Dropping Equipment Enthusiast for a Bashing Shield. Got that back into rotation fairly quickly. So now if John... Wait. Oh wait, it's Bethany's turn. I'm like, how did they draw 2 more cards? It's their turn. So draw and draw for Databank. Has an Energon Axe new designs. Oh, wait a minute. This is very interesting. It at least sets up some interesting maneuvers with Heavy Duty Plasma Blaster next turn. This turn, though, what is the move? Energon Axe on Alpha Bravo probably is going to happen no matter what. Yep, there's the Axe on Alpha Bravo. So now, goes for new designs, Energon Axe on Air Raid. So if one of them survives next turn, you play the Shoulder Holster preemptively before the combine, then you combine, get both axes, and Superion's looking real scary. Power Glide into into Galaxy first, no secret reveal, going for 3 Pierce 1, blocked and takes the Pierce 1. So Bethany does elect for the get 1 more wheel turn play, which I can't really make a decision on, or make a call on whether that is the correct play here or not. Really the best way I can describe it, it's just too murky to make a call on that right now. There are so many variables that could affect it. Wheeljank, thank you for the follow. 5 Pierce 5 is the swing from Alpha Bravo. Energon Axe on him is broken, and it is especially more powerful, again, thanks to In the Name of Slingshot. Gen Prime up to 12, or Galaxy up to 12. elects for the Tetradite here to stop the metal detector getting scrapped. That makes sense. And I'm not being sarcastic there. That legitimately makes sense. Going in for 7 Pierce negated. 7 blocking 3. Take 4. Ooh, there goes the metal detector. No, wait. So 7 blocking 3, 5. Takes 2. The metal detector does fall off anyways. So the Tetradite was the correct move there against Air Raid, in my opinion. In hindsight, would have it done more against Alpha Bravo? Yes, but at this point, you want to be trying to preserve as many upgrades as you can on Galaxy, so I do think that holding the Tetradite was the correct call. 3 Pierce 1 from Silverbolt. Blocking 2. Takes 1. And now we have an untap. Over to John's turn. He has just not been able to get anything going thanks to Air Raid Bashing Shield. Draws a Bashing Shield of his own. Has a Crude Club, which does next to nothing here. Equipment Enthusiast does next to nothing. This is not looking good for John at all. Really, the best you can do here is just drop a Bashing Shield onto Sound Barrier, or I don't know who you drop it on. Maybe you drop it on Galaxy, I don't know. But get rid of that sparring gear. Force Bethany to decide if they have an armor in hand, hypothetically, which we know they don't. But John, if you're John, you think, okay, play the Bashing Shield, force them to commit between either playing an armor or going for potential weapon plays. And there goes the sparring gear. You gotta try to make something happen here. That is absolutely the correct decision, to just drop the Bashing Shield and see what happens. Sending Sound Barrier into Air Raid. I don't know if that's gonna matter in terms of getting the ability off the field, but in terms of maximizing damage on Superion, absolutely the correct play. So 3 going in, block 2, take 1. It's 1 point of damage, but we all know that, oh, now he sees the Hollow Matter. That's unfortunate. Galaxy is likely gonna get zapped here from Superion. Drawing 2 on Bethany's side. 9 cards in hand. 2 Plasma Blasters. Plenty of options. Okay. I don't think you combine in this situation. Actually, no. It's not an I think. It's an I know you do not combine in this situation. You do not want to waste Superion's shot on Sound Barrier, of all things. At this point, you send Skydive in to ensure minimal damage gets onto Superion. Throw... Oh wait, all 3 heavy duties are in hand. I stand corrected from an earlier statement. Honestly, I think you just send Skydive straight up in here. Get whatever you can on Sound Barrier. Wait for Galaxy to just nuke him. And then combine into Superion. Shoot Galaxy for 3. Get him off the field. And then you've just checkmated him. John here, so. Going for a shoulder holster and reveals a handheld blaster. It is a weapon. And... they do have to play it. I mean, it's not going to matter here. Scouting mission to ping Skydive for 1. Making Galaxy's attack even more wasteful. Draws heavy-handed Hand of Adaptus. If John draws a direct damage card, which actually, let's take a look and see what he might have. Skydive into Sound Barrier. Three Pierce 2. 3 Pierce 2 takes the Pierce 2. So for direct damage that's outside of combat, He has 2 Cayman, 2 Scouting Mission, draws a Reclaim. I think you need to flip Galaxy here and try to see if you can spike a Cayman or a Scouting Mission off the top. It's not pretty, but I think it's the only way you could potentially finagle yourself out of this situation. Goes for the Oh, wait a minute. Nope, has to put an upgrade on top. If that could put any card, that would be insane here. Goes for the energy pack. He's turtling. He is absolutely turtling. Goes for the Crude Club. Send Galaxy in. Will not get the plus attack from the energy pack here, but does at least get +2 from Crude Club. Even though it does not matter here, I just remembered. $12 Pierce 2 is the swing. That is a very, very dead Skydive, and Superion is now up to 14 damage in the KO area. And, ooh, Severed Combiner Hand was in the flip, so he gets to play it. It's over the energy pack. That's pretty good! Now, what does Bethany have in hand for removal? Flip Skydive in the KO area. Does not have armor removal, which is a bit of a... Oh, no, wait, there's a Smelt. No, Smelt actually doesn't do it here, because John just scraps the Bashing Shield and calls it a day. So, correction, Superion's at 15 in the KO area. I thought Skydive had 7 health for some reason. So, 15, 16, 17, 19 damage on the combined. Still pretty good. So... goes for the combined. Okay, shoulder holster and double Energon Axe are going to be carried over. Data Bank and handheld will be scrapped. Doing 3 to General Optimus. Or Galaxy, you know what I mean. Same thing, kind of. So... yeah, you just swing and try to delete. So, what are you sitting at in terms of Pierce in this situation? So, you have Pierce 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which gets reduced to Pierce 4. Wait, that's lethal on board! That's just checkmate here! That is absolutely just checkmate. Oh, Data Bank was on Power Glide. So Data Bank was not scrapped there. I forgot about that. So scrapping Data Bank for personal targeting drone. Superion into Galaxy. And then that's a dead Galaxy, even after Pierce reduction from Combiner Hand. For 3 Pierce 2. Takes the Pierce 2. Yeah, I don't think John's winning this one. Just could not get anything going. That Smelt early on kind of messed things up. John draws Dare to Believe after all hope is gone. Good lord. So Superion manages to take game 1, basically. We are going to get a glory kill attempt with Sound Barrier. Oh, are you... Oh, wait a minute, he got it! Oh my god, he actually got it! 3 Pierce 3. What? So just destroys Power Glide and goes in, and then Superion's got Pierce on board to kill. And there's a heavy-handed just to rub salt in the wound. Might as well. And game 2 we go. That is a game 1 win for Bethany. Alrighty, so, John is going first. No characters are being sideboarded, but battle cards are, by the sounds of things, while we are waiting for the next game to start. Yep, okay. While we're waiting for the next game to start, of course, let's talk about the fact that the Wave 9 beta still is ongoing. Once the event concludes, we are going to make some changes to a couple of things, and then test things for a couple more weeks, and then after that, Wave 9 will be officially released. So if you want to help with that final home stretch, head over to transformers.cards for all the information you need for that. And be sure to join the Discord at transformers.cards/Discord if you want to talk with us directly about your findings with these beta cards. Again, the Wave 9 beta still rolls on. Join us in getting this thing to the finish line at transformers.cards and transformers.cards/Discord. So now we go back over to this. I would not be surprised if we saw Bethany side in those other 2 smelts, because, again, that a single smelt and a single bashing shield put the screws on John in game 1. In game 2, it'll probably be even worse. For John, spare parts at least does something here. Not sideboarding anything else. Or in terms of characters, I should say. I don't think you side into the extra copy of Apex or the Touch that's sitting in there. Bellicosity might be decent. Like, really the only things I could see him siding into here are spare parts and Bellicosity. Maybe Disarm if for shoulder holster, but we'll see what happens. Damage is on the field in the same spots as last game. Superion, or Silverbolt, Power Glide. Silverbolt, Power Glide, Alpha Bravo, Air Raid. I gotta jump in, because I can't see the hands. Okay, now I can see the hands. Okay, so John opens with an energy pack and a Prime's New Arm in hand. Hold up. Yeah, I can see him. Okay, so John opens with a Prime's New Arm and an energy pack. Not ideal with the Prime's new arm, but the energy pack's at least something. Master of Metallicado is also pretty decent for trying to close the gap early. Bethany opens Plasma Blaster, Sparring Gear, Double Enigma. Ow! That sucks. So Sparring Gear onto Fireflight, sending Skydive first. That's interesting, but I can't necessarily say I disagree with it, because I honestly do not have an opinion on that move. Going in for 3, blocked 2, wait, going for 4, block 2, take 2, there we go. Dropping an Enigma for a Vampark, that telegraphs that there's an Enigma in hand, and John has an Axe, ooh, not what you want to see. So at this point, you flip Galaxy, Energy Pack Master of Metallicado is probably your best bet. Even if you don't stick the Energy Pack, you're at least in this situation burning any removal that Bethany might be sitting on. So that's at least decent in terms of trying to win the long game. Yep, Energy Pack Master of Metallicado. Who could have seen that coming? Sending Galaxy into Skydive as you have to. Currently going for 10. Only for 10. For 10. What is that? Oh, there's the Hollow Matter. So that's at least something. 10 blocking 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Take 4. Four damage on Skydive. Now, do you pick up the Hollow Matter here? John is not going to. I honestly don't know if I would have or not either. So I really cannot provide anything on that. There is a Bastion Shield on Bethany's side, but also a Hand of Adaptus and a Smelt. Getting rid of the Heavy Duty. I like that call because it's not doing too much right now. Going for the Hand of Adaptus. Okay. I mean, if you're playing enough removal, by that I mean you sided in the 2 Smelts, that's probably okay in the long run. We'll see what the draws end up being, though. Heavy Duty Plasma Blaster is the draw, so you at least get to retain that. Flip Air Raid to bot mode. Do you just drop the Hand of Adaptus here and see what you can spike in terms of like an Energon Axe or something, maybe? Because what weapons are Bethany playing? Let's see. 2 Armed Hovercraft, 3 Energon Axe, 3 Heavy Duty Plasma Blaster, and a Vampark Ribbon. So, ideally, you'd like to spike an Axe off of that, but that's not necessarily guaranteed. And really, the only thing in the sideboard is Nobles. But I mean, it's a +2 weapon with a green icon, so that's at least something, but you don't get the Pierce against Galaxy, which ideally is what you want. Goes for the Vampark on Alpha Bravo, and then sends Power Glide into Galaxy, it sounded like. For 3 flat. That's a block. There's a scrap of a heavy-duty Plasma Blaster for an Energon Axe per Power Glide. Air Raid into Galaxy. Ooh, getting rid of that energy pack if a Pierce gets spiked, which it is. So going in for 5 Pierce 1. So 5 blocking 3, take 2. And the energy pack is gone. No greens on Bethany's side. Oh, maybe there's a Sparring Gear that could get picked up here. Although that Prime's new arm's looking pretty decent right now. No greens for Air Raid. Alpha Bravo in next for 3 Pierce 3. Vampark won't get the trigger, but at least you get the full Pierce 3. 3 Pierce 3. And up to 5. Silverbolt is probably next. Actually, it really doesn't matter here. Okay, Silverbolt in next. Can we get the trigger? Nope. 2 flat. Blocked. Fireflight into Galaxy last. For 1 or for 2 no pierce. 2 no pierce. That's a block. We have an untap. And over to John's turn. Has 2 Energon Axes and a Prime's New Arm. Eeh. Well, you probably start with the Prime's New Arm, so that way Bethany can't force a situation where a Smelt comes down to get rid of the Energon Axe. There is definitely... Oh, wait. John is saying, do I get rid of you here? That's a very interesting thing to be saying at this position. Goes for the... Is he going to attack with Galaxy this turn? Flip the stuck on you. Grabbing the Apex. Equipment Enthusiast draw 2. There's no removal in Bethany's hand. He has a backup Apex in hand. Oh my... He's not going to get punished for this. He is genuinely not going to get punished for this. 12 Pierce 3 into Fireflight. Wait, what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 12 into 8 takes 4. He's alive. Bethany's siding Lion Weight. Oh my god. They sided into the Lion Weight in order to smokescreen how many blues are in their deck. Oh my god, are you serious? Fireflight lives. Doesn't have any upgrade removal though. Though, if they flip anybody, play Hand of Adaptus, they could get the Bashing Shield. Though, I'm not sure. Flip Silverbolt to ping Galaxy for a damage. Up to 6. You have to play the Hand of Adaptus here. The draw 3 is just too good in this situation, especially when you're trying to dig for that Bashing Shield. I would check the scrap pile to see if the Bashing Shield has shown up, but unfortunately I can't. Oh, wait. Wait, no. Superion or Silverbolt is not going to flip. Power Glide is going to flip to bot mode instead. If 1 or more damage counters would be moved onto one of your other characters from an enemy, aka from the effective Apex armor, move those counters onto this instead. Then if this is not... Power Glide negates the move damage. And John is mentioning PTSD from last line of defense shenanigans I was kicking in. Hand of Adaptus to draw 3. Does not draw the Bashing Shield, so it was in the scrap. So now what do you play for your upgrade here? You could just shotgun Alpha Bravo into Galaxy, but I don't know if that's correct. You absolutely do not send Power Glide in here, that's for sure. Going for the Axe on Air Raid, they're going to try to get rid of that Apex, I'm pretty sure. Although, like I mentioned earlier, there's a backup in hand and they have no idea. Does not get the Apex trigger, though. So this is why Sound Barrier is so good in this deck. It essentially ensures, even if it gets removed, you have tough 2 for 1 turn. So we have a reshuffle, and the attack is currently 7 Pierce 2. 8 Pierce 2 is the swing. 8 block 4, take 4. There goes the Apex Armor. There goes the Apex Armor, indeed. So, John does not want anything from his flips. So now we move over to his turn. Flip Galaxy to alt mode. Disarm. Ooh, that's... So he sided into the disarm. We know that much. Sound Barrier is a specialist, so Javelin is dead. Disarms the sparring gear. Interesting. Do you play the Apex Armor again, or do you play Prime's new arm in this situation? There's the Apex Armor. And that was... The disarm was not his action for turn, so steady shot onto Sound Barrier, and Sound Barrier into Air Raid. Six Pierce 1 is the swing. Blocking 1, take 5. Dropping Javelin for sparring gear, and that is the alternative if Sound Barrier's not dead. Scrapping War of Attrition for, I believe that was a sparring gear. Nope, it was either a sparring gear or a bashing shield. Probably a bashing shield. Draws the scouting mission for turn. That's interesting. Silverbolt to ping Gen Prime for 1. Or Galaxy, I should say. I keep calling him Gen Prime because Bethany keeps calling him Gen Prime. Even though... again, a lot of us are conditioned to call Wave 3 Prime Gen Prime and Wave 4 Prime Galaxy. Bashing Shield comes down. There goes the Apex Armor, unfortunately. So, not much you can really do in that situation, unfortunately. I mean, you got a wheel turn here, so... Scouting Mission, pinging Fireflight for 1, draws 2. Wait. KO's Power Glide instead. Or pings Power Glide instead. What? I'm confused. And now we start swinging. Alpha Bravo into Gen Optimus. 3 Pierce 3. Not going to pick up either of the War of Attrition. So 3 Pierce 3 takes 3 up to 13. Scrap Lion Weight for War of Attrition. Silverbolt the Gen earned a Galaxy. 3 flat. Blocked. Fireflight in the Galaxy. 1 Pierce 1! Haha! Fireflight actually does things. Skydive into Galaxy. 3 Pierce 2 takes the Pierce 2. Power Glide in last. 3 Pierce 1 takes the Pierce 1 up to 17. John at least has the new arm in hand. Untap. Draw for turn. Well, there's another one. Prime's new arm comes down. Flips to bot mode. Sound barrier into Fireflight. Will he get Pierce 2? Nope. Gets 1 orange, so going in for 4. Blocking enough to block. That is unfortunate. Draw for turn. It's a smelt. Oh. I mean, you have to get rid of the... Wait. Yep. I know exactly what they're calling. Okay, so Techno thankfully hopped in to call the exact moment this call got made. So basically the question is, if you try and smelt a Prime's new arm, can the person with the new arm choose that and just negate the smelt? And the answer is yes. I figured that was how it worked based on Shockwave Hollow Matter interactions, but I just wanted to be sure. So a smelt here would essentially get rid of the Energon Axe, which, I mean, you're still getting rid of one of his offensive tools, so that's still good in the long run. Shoulder holster onto Alpha Bravo. And are you kidding me? An Energon Axe off the top onto Alpha Bravo? Oh, good lord. No, it wouldn't? What do you mean? Smelt wouldn't get rid of it. Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to make sure that it worked like Shockwave Hollow Matter interactions. Skydive gets flipped. And then send Skydive in. Heal 1 from Fireflight. Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot. I would say Smelt just gets rid of the act. Yeah. I go from immediately being correct to being incorrect. Is this anything new, people? Have I ever claimed to be competent at this? Dropping an Energon Axe for a Severed Combiner hand. Shocking. Bethany does not pick anything up, it looks like. Looks like we had a miscue there with the damage. John thought Galaxy was getting attacked. It was actually Sound Barrier because nature of Sound Barrier being tapped. Oh, God. Bethany just suggested Skydive having the Wave 1 super rare ability, and really any combiner... Well, wait, I was about to say any combiner with that would be scary, but, yeah, Predaking has that already. Whoops. Patrol the perimeter off the top. Why did he just reshuffle? What? Hold up. I gotta jump in. Okay, so looks like John did do everything correctly. It was just a matter of Octagon being glitchy. Who went first? John both games. Prime's new arm. Patrol the perimeter gets set. Galaxy goes in to Skydive. Did he smack Fireflight with Prime? No, you'd have to rewatch the footage. I don't think he did, though. $13 Pierce 2 into Skydive. Yeah, he did. Seems like the best call. Yeah, probably. Adding the damage to Superion. He is now sitting at 8 in KO area with an additional 12 on field, so that's 20 on Superion. We're already in a better state than last game, that's for sure. Because you need to get to air raid, so punting Fireflight is probably best. Yeah, probably. So we're over to Bethany's turn. 8 cards in hand, all the resources available. I assume Air Raid's been doing some scrapping here. In Game 1, yes. In Game 2, not as much, surprisingly. But that's not due to lack of damage. That's due to, there not being any upgrades. So now we have a wheel turn. Bethany needs to get 8 damage onto Galaxy in order to put the screws on here. Scrapping the bashing shield on Fireflight for a sparring gear. And now comes the wheel turn shenanigans. Although, yeah, there's not really an action. If Bethany had designated target in hand, that would just be nutty right now. But unfortunately, they do not. So we're going to have to rely on flips here. Air raid into into Galaxy first. Flipping the patrol the perimeter, you might as well at this point. Also, he did side in the Bellicosities like I called earlier. Going in for 7, Pierce 2. So 7 Pierce 2. Gets rid of the Energon Axe. Alpha Bravo, who's sitting at 6 Pierce 5. 7 Pierce 5. So 7 Pierce 5, or blocking enough to take the Pierce 5. Alive on energy, or Vampark heals 2. Heals Alpha Bravo back to full in this case. And Prime is alive on 1. Can we get a black icon flipped? Yes! That is a dead Galaxy! So, Sound Barrier now gets attacked for 3 Pierce 1. Taking 1, it looks like. Yep. Data Bank for Hand of Adaptus. And can Fireflight finish the job? It would take a God Flip here, but I don't... I've seen weirder. Nope, 1 flat. That's a block. Okay, we are... untapping and... draw for turn. John messed up a button there, but it's not even going to matter here. Severed Combiner Hand, Dare to Believe, draw a card. Send into Fireflight as he has to. 3 Pierce 1. Blocked. Takes the Pierce 1. And Aerial Bot Enigma, Sound Barrier for 3. And one of these two first-timer runs had to come to an end, and it ends up being John's as he falls 2-0 with Apex Galaxy to Bethany Molina and Superion. So Superion goes on to face either Ozzy in Infinite Megs or Ciliag and Blaster in the finals. We were going to have a newcomer in the finals one way or another, and it ended up being Bethany. And, yeah, considering the fact that both of these players, again, showed up in an event with decks that are... Well, Bethany showed up with Superion, again, who the last time was in this, in a high-tier event was VOI, and I kind of ended those ambitions with Double Magray. And John's deck is very, very complex in terms of how it operates, and they both managed to make it to top 4, and now Bethany's in the final. So I am not knocking either performance here. Well, John has done incredible, and Bethany still is doing incredible since, John's eliminated, Bethany's not. So, yeah, Superion wins 2-0 and earns a spot in the finals against either Blaster or Infinite Megs. We will find out what that will be tomorrow night at, let me just make sure I have got the time correct here. Tomorrow at 9, wait, no. I'm just making, I am having problems with converting time zones. Eastern. 10:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow is when Ciliag versus Ozzy is. Again, Blaster versus Infinite Megs. We tried to do this last night, but again, there were technical issues. Hopefully that won't happen again. So, we'll see what the finals matchup will be tomorrow night. But for now, hopefully you enjoyed what you saw here tonight. If you did, there's a little purple button you can push down below to show that if you're watching this on Twitch, or if you're watching the YouTube re-upload of this, there is a little red button you can push down below to show that. Again, tomorrow night at 10:30 Eastern, Ciliag versus Ozzy, Blaster versus Infinite Megs to see who will face off against Bethany Molina and Superion in the finals. But until then, that will do it for this broadcast. Peace out, y'all.